They also think they're following me, which that's all right. They'll figure it out. Because here's 50 right here. Looks like nothing ever happened. Hey, good morning. Welcome back to Ohrmundt Simmentals. All right, Saturday morning, and sorry for the way I sound. Still getting over a cold, and it's just made me a little hoarse. That's all. Trust me, I feel way better than I sound. What I want to do this morning is the heaters, like for this guy, are not hooked up. I mean, they're in there. We don't, unless they go bad, we don't take them out. I actually just ordered a couple of like 6-foot extension cords, like heavy duty ones, because let me go back over here. Because what we got is, so you can take this little side panel off and you can access down there. Well, as soon as you pull that panel off, we have our electrical, and we have a T on there, a splitter T on that electrical, and we have a heat tape that goes down in the hole a little bit and then comes up to like here on the hose, on the actual water hose. But then it also plugs in and the cord goes up into the donut that sits in here. You know, I'm not so worried about the heat tape. It's the donut. Because what'll happen is over time the donut will corrode and then start shorting out, and it shorts out in the water. And then the cows don't want to drink it. The calves will stand there, the bull will stand there, and they won't drink it. And rightfully so. I mean, they're gonna get a little buzz, and they can sense that. So what I'm gonna go do is flip that one on, and I'm gonna go I wanna find my electrical tester, because I can actually like put it on in or right above the water and it'll sense the electrical current, no different than when you put it right next to a hot cord. It does the same thing. So that'll at least tell me, because that one's on a switch. This one I think is on a breaker right here. I think. Pretty sure. It still doesn't surprise me that one skimmed over. Only because there's only 4 of them. And when it's windy, sometimes they will still skim over unless there's cows at it like every half hour. There's 2 switches. One turns on the light bulb in the closet to heat that guy up, and we'll double check that right now to make sure that that's still running. I have no doubts it is. Yep, still going. Yeah. So then that's this one, and that's that one. Okay. And I'm like 99% sure that the baby blue is not hooked up to the same one. Now the only thing is, where did I put my electrical tester? I'm gonna feed a little bit of ground feed, and then we'll figure out what we're gonna do today. Might actually end up in the shop. Might not be a bad day for the shop. All right, made it down to the shop. Not sure what we're all gonna do down here. We were just talking about his house project, which is very quickly getting away from us with the temps. But what it does mean right now is we're gonna pull out these ready heaters, get them going. It's chilly. So Dad and I cleaned the shop for about an hour and a half or so. Not really exciting. Not gonna record us putting stuff away. That's pretty boring. But I did find my tester. it was not in the shop either. I had taken it to mom and dad's and left it there like a month ago, so oh well, that's all right. We're back and we're gonna check those things out. We did get a pretty decent chunk of stuff cleaned up, so that was good. Huh. This must be leaking a little bit. I wonder why that is. It's just leaking just a little bit. I suppose, I mean, this plug's like 20 years old. So I guess over time it's gonna wear out. Let's do a sanity check over here. All right, so I just plugged this other one in over here the other day. Yep, just on the cord. Why? Why are you doing that? So I did this last year. This should not, like, I get holding it over here on the cord, on the cable. You know, that's gonna do that. But right on the water, that should be doing it just like an inch above water. What the heck's going on with those things? Unplugged it. Yeah, okay. I don't know what's going on with that, dude. These things have always been really, really good. So I don't know what's going on with that. Okay, and that's working good. I think it really had to do with the fact that it was trying to incline with the little bit of water that was left in that tee. We found an elbow. We just gotta replace it. So I think this heater's probably working fine. Another thing I could check, I guess we will. So here's the inside. So here's the cable for the heater, and goes down there. So yep, we're juiced and we're fine there. So we are good to go. I don't know what's going on with those K&H ones. I've always had really, really good luck with those. We are to feeding time. Not a super overly productive day today, but it's been a while since we had a Saturday that we weren't able to just kind of, didn't have anything pressing. And apparently one of the cows must have kicked a core under the wire. So when Dad goes and feeds, I'll go grab that and see if I can get it to where they can get at it. I did not notice that the other day, so yeah. So this is the guy that we're after. I'm surprised I didn't notice it the last couple days, but they also think they're following me, which that's all right. They'll figure it out. Now, can I get my arms around that thing? But, oh, yeah, I think I can get that. No problem. Stupid thing fell apart on me like 2 feet from the fence. Oh well. They got it now. So today is November 30th. Today's the day I released the video of EL50 and Barb aborting their calf. So they are, and obviously you've seen this by now, they're back out here and they're doing okay. I mean, Barb's still a little skinny, but I think it's gonna take her a little bit to come back because she did raise a calf, and I'm sure that was probably, her abort was probably a little bit more traumatic body-wise than 50's was, you know, she spent all year just eating, yeah, growing a calf inside, getting bred and all that stuff, but Barb was raising a calf at the same time, so she'll take a little bit longer. I think she'll be fine by the time spring comes around, because honestly, we'll bring her in probably a month prior to AI, because those two will both go into our first sync group. Because here's 50 right here. Looks like nothing ever happened. So, you know, my only concern with especially her is that she gets too fat. Barb, I don't think will get too fat. I think she's gonna honestly end up being kind of like Cher. They're pretty closely related. Cher is a radium daughter, and the grandsire, or her mom's dad, is radium also. So that was honestly one thing I liked about Barb, was that radium bull, because radium's good bull. So I think she'll probably follow the same path as Cher. You know, kind of look a little leaner, honestly, until about halfway through summer, and then she'll just look fat, which is fine. That's fine. It is what it is. YC, not noticing anything major going on with her. She was our limper, and I don't see any limping going on with her. She's doing okay. Hey Barb, hey kiddo, right? Yeah. Yeah, we had to help get the rest of her afterbirth out. 50 dropped hers on her own. So, and I'm pretty sure you guys seen that already, or at least seen the videos on that already. As you can tell, they're pretty happy to get it, especially this time of year. It's not muddy out, so it's funny, when it's muddy and they get fresh bedding, they just plop down. When it's like this and they get fresh bedding, then it's like they like to play around. So you got the dedicated diehards that are still pigging out, and then you got the playful suckers that just want to have fun. One thing we have not done yet, and that's shut off this line. This is the faucet outside. I'm surprised Dad hasn't mentioned it. I kind of just remembered it. Typically doesn't get too bad in here, but yeah, that is frizzed. So I don't know where it's froze to, but it won't freeze in the closet, and I just shut it off. So probably a nice thing about having it be a poly line, it's not going, it shouldn't like catastrophic break, let's put it that way. But we'll probably end up throwing a ready heater in there and thaw it out. Honestly, I forgot to, and Dad must have forgot to. So all right, that's enough for today. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. All right, it is Sunday afternoon. This morning we did a little family stuff. It was time to get the Christmas tree, and then we did a little bit of stuff on Dad's house project, honestly, trying to keep it in a condition where we can pour concrete if it warms up a little bit. So we will see if that ever actually happens. But this afternoon we were hoping to grind corn, and a couple hours ago I had plugged in the 2940, so we're gonna see if this guy starts. I think it will. It's pretty warm. Like I said, we're grinding corn. We actually did run into a little bit of an issue since it's been like a week or so since we ran the 29. I don't know if from the snow or the last bit of rain or what, but we got some ice like in the hydraulic remotes, just where you plug in your hydraulic lines. And for whatever reason, they were like froze. We couldn't plug them in, we couldn't open them, nothing. It was weird. Never had that. So we had to run some water on them, and Dad got oil on them, and he was not happy about that. But we're up and running, so got all the feed mix in the bucket because the pallet forks are a mom and dad's. So, oh well, no biggie. All right, let's get this done. So this is one of the gravity boxes that we had picked and put up in the barn. So that'll be another nice thing, is we'll empty this guy out. That'll give us back plenty of space for the picker and or for the grinder, and take the weight off the floor. So I mean, it's not an issue, but you know, just one less thing up there, and then this guy can find its winter home. Got a couple of calves that are like, hey, what's going on? I know what you guys are doing. Threw out a couple bundles of corn stalks that were decorations, and calves have seemed to find that. Emptying out our second batch. All right, so we're starting on our last load, our last batch, which to fit in our bin is about half full on the grinder. But there's going to be more corn left in that gravity box than we need. So we're just trying to figure out what we're going to do with it. Okay, so as you saw, it didn't fit in the bin, which we knew. So we just said, screw it, we'll just grind it up and put it in here. Honestly, it'll probably be 2 days worth of feeding, and then we'll be able to park this guy. So we're gonna put it right here. I flipped over one of these tubs, and that chunk of ice was in there. It's like half corn. We'll get rid of that, throw it on the manure pile or something. Dad's gonna run their bale out to the field and spread that sucker out, and I'm gonna go grab my tester again and plug in that little donut heater. In a tank like that, it's not the greatest, but if it only keeps one little spot open, it'll help. So I just want to make sure it's not shorting out or just like an old one. These idiots did not drink as much as they should have. So So now I gotta break it open again. Nope, that one's no good. I mean, I can just leave it like it is and top it off. And hopefully they get over here. So I'll probably have to get some more heaters. I do not know why my brand new one is doing this though. That is the part that really annoys me. But those style floats have always been really nice. I've always liked them. Because they're only like 500 watt. And, you know, want to conserve as much electricity. I mean, I don't need a 1500 watt heater to keep this thing open. I only need honestly, if they made a 250 floater, I think they do like that, but that's a 500. So that's usually what I've gotten, and they work fine. So all right, more mineral, all stocked up. Pretty much switched over to the all-purpose beef from Nutrina, the Nutrebeef stuff. So, oh well. I mean, it's convenient, seems decent. The formulation is pretty decent. So, oh well. And then a fresh trace block. Wintertime, I switch back to the blocks, mostly because what'll happen is when it starts getting snowed on, it seems like the trace mineral will either, like, from licking, will freeze up and turn into a block anyways. So why not just buy the block? And it just becomes a total mess in there in that tub. So I just usually switch over back to the block in the wintertime. Yeah. All right. That taken care of. We'll just go make sure everything's closed up and buttoned up for the night. Mowing away on their stuff. Oh, got a little dribble. Oh yeah, that thing's like ready to pop right off. So when they do come off the horns, he's got just a little trickle of blood. With the bands, like, they'll come off, and it's kind of like if you like had an old scratch and picked the scab off, and there's just like a little bit of blood or something like that. That's pretty much what it is. But it's still a lot less than cutting them, which I've been a part of, and that's gross. So this is still a lot better, and honestly, he might be rubbing them a little sooner than they should be, or he's bumping them or something. But it's just a couple little spots, and honestly, he is totally unfazed by it. So that's a good thing, and that's the biggest reason we do it that way is, or like to do it that way, is there's just a lot less stress on the animal. All right, it is the end of the day. I'm ready to go inside because I'm getting cold, and it's the end of the day, end of the weekend. Hope you guys liked the video. Please hit that thumbs up button. If you got any questions, always, please leave them in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe. And of course, thanks for coming along.